My girlfriend is hot, ladies and gentlemen. My girlfriend is hot, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck is anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. My girlfriend's hot, ladies and gentlemen. I don't ever seem to get any pleasure from my girlfriend. Now, why do you think that is, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? I mean, my girlfriend's hot. And my girlfriend never brings me pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds. I'm telling you right now, Simon Feck. Simon Feck's done some great things in his life, ladies and gentlemen. Done some great things in my life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting ready to share something with you that I haven't shared with you, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, oh, oh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting ready to share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. Besides my girlfriend's hot, my bird, ladies and gentlemen, my bird is hot, ladies and gentlemen. That that's right, Kara. That's right. I only eat female chickens, ladies and gentlemen. No roosters, ladies and gentlemen. No, that's right. I can eat chicken, ladies and gentlemen, as long as it's chicken, ladies and gentlemen. No roosters, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave that for MMA Cam, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah, but I'm gonna share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Simon Feck. I have something big coming down the pike, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Been working on it for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Been working on it for a long time. I've been doing combat sports since combat sports was invented, ladies and gentlemen. I've been getting backstage, hanging out with the fighters, famous people, and everything for years, ladies and gentlemen. And it seemed like the same thing. It reached a plateau, let's say, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I became anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. Stole that from BK, ladies and gentlemen. But it's true. I have felt anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the easiest word. It's not difficult. It's not hard either, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? But Simon Feck has done so many great things in his short bird life, ladies and gentlemen, that it's hard to get pleasure out of anything because everything has been like, you know, exciting, ladies and gentlemen. And after a while, exciting becomes the norm. When the exciting becomes the norm, you get the point, right, ladies and gentlemen? So here's what I'm going to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck. Simon Feck took a step back, ladies and gentlemen, from the MMA world. I didn't tell anybody, ladies and gentlemen. Took a step back, had to take a breather, ladies and gentlemen. Got burnt out, ladies and gentlemen. But I've been working on something, ladies and gentlemen. I've been working on something besides the Simon Feck character, which was all in fun, ladies and gentlemen. I've been working on something. It's right here. It's right here in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. It's at MMA Axis. At MMA AXIS. Okay? There's not one subscriber there right now. There's 0 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. It's got like a red M. I'm going to tell you right now, starting International Fight Week, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking about starting it at the White House But International Fight Week, there's going to be a new channel, ladies and gentlemen. The new channel is going to outdo the 5 big ones. And what I mean by that, the new channel is going to outdo MMA Guru on Fight Companions. It's going to outdo Lucas Tracy or whoever does it. I don't care. MMA Joey, MMA experts. You name one in 6 months. I think it's going to be within a couple months. I've been working on something because I have become anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen, with what I do. I've been working on something, ladies and gentlemen. And you're not going to believe what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. International Fight Week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. I need 50 subscribers. Of course. Of course. Of course. I can go and sneak around the other side with the StreamYard, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know all that. I want 50 subscribers. Have 8, 9, 10 weeks or whatever to International Fight Week. Okay? I need 50 subscribers. It's going to be the greatest YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the greatest fight companion, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. We got, who do we got in here? We got Giuliani Argentini, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet use of anhedonic. The girl in the thumbnail could be hotter or better. What is it? Better. Giuliani's making fun of my girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't think that my girlfriend's hot enough, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm telling you right now, Simon Feck at MMA Access. We got the links right here in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. I've been working on something. I am putting together the greatest fight companion out there. It's going to outdo the MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, MMA experts, MMA Joey. I mean, basically all of them together. Like, let's say, think of this right now, right? So I have Money Moicano's phone number, right? Yeah, he's doing a fight companion, right? I can't give it away, ladies and gentlemen. I can't give it away. Simon Feck, 1 foot cock here, ladies and gentlemen. I have been anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen, for a long time. Been putting this together. It's MMA Access, ladies and gentlemen. There's 0 subscribers there. I need people to subscribe. I can get around it with the StreamYard. I understand. I want 50 subscribers. International Fight Week, ladies and gentlemen. International Fight Week. Check this out, right? So Wednesday, International Fight Week, you have Media Day, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's Power Slack. And then there's the weigh-ins. And then there's the Hall of Fame. Before the Hall of Fame, there's a red carpet walk, ladies and gentlemen. There's UFC X, ladies and gentlemen. I just got Sean Strickland's address, his home address, ladies and gentlemen, for an interview, ladies and gentlemen. I've known him for a long time, but I just got his home address, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Gonna be going to fighters' houses. Gonna be going to gyms. Gonna have a special meeting. Got people flying out to meet Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have fighters on my show, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna outdo. It might take a little while. I guarantee you 100%. You just don't know what's in store. I've been working on this for a year. And I have the connections, ladies and gentlemen. Be a good sport. Help Simon Feck out, ladies and gentlemen. Go over and subscribe to MMA Access. At MMA, right? AXIS, ladies and gentlemen, and try to bring Simon Feck to be anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. Because when I watch these other guys like MMA Joey makes me anhedonic, ladies and gentlemen. What about MMA Cam, right? Like this. Simon Feck has an MMA Cam, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Don't be an idiot and get rid of the camera. Don't be an idiot and get rid of the camera. Get rid of the camera that has the mic on, ladies and gentlemen. When you're running two in one room, you got to mute one, and then when you go to the other one, oh my God, I was ranting and raving, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, MMA Holes, thanks a lot. MMA Consultant, thanks a lot. There's WMC, thanks a lot for letting me know it's muted, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get out of here, man. I don't know where I went wrong. I know. Listen. Simon Feck has an MMA cam when Simon Feck wants one. I have an MMA cam, ladies and gentlemen. Even MMA cam probably doesn't even have an MMA cam, ladies and gentlemen. But right there, you see it. I got an MMA cam. If I want an MMA cam, I got an MMA cam with no sound, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here ranting and raving that we're going to go to great heights. And when I say we, it's none of your business who we are. We're going to go to great heights, ladies and gentlemen. It's all set in stone. Simon Feck made a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. I knew. Once I said, hey, it's in my head. This is it. This is it right here. Simon Feck came out of retirement. Simon Feck made the phone call the other day. Simon Feck has what Simon Feck needs, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be the biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen. You got MMA Joey and MMA Guru and Submission Radio and Fighting on SBN and all those people. Put them all together. We're going to be bigger than that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, it's coming. You don't know it's coming, but it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to hit you hard, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck made a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, that's what I'm telling you now. Simon Feck made a phone call. There's WMC going, woo, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And Simon Feck, right? Simon Feck has a limousine, right? I don't go around town. Now I can start telling people everything, right? Because the mask is coming off soon, ladies and gentlemen. Not really. Everybody will be anhedonic then, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So I have a limousine. It's a personal limousine. I'm not a limousine driver, ladies and gentlemen. It's my own personal limousine to tote Simon Feck around, believe it or not, right? So Ric Flair, you put the woo in. Ric Flair lives down the road from me, ladies and gentlemen. I've been on his boat. He's been in my limousine many times, ladies and gentlemen. It's the honest truth, ladies and gentlemen. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be turning on my Facebook account too, ladies and gentlemen. I had to hide it for a little bit, right? And WMC is going face reveal, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Well, some people, people think it was Idaho, ladies and gentlemen. It started with MMA Cam, ladies and gentlemen. It was MMA Cam that should get the credit, ladies and gentlemen. WMC says don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I shouldn't, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm telling you right now, MMA Access is going to be the biggest thing on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. MMA Guru, the MMA Guru and Bedtime MMA getting a hold of Simon Feck. MMA Guru hasn't done it in a little while, but Bedtime MMA is always getting a hold of Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen, giving Simon Feck a hard time. Anybody that's treated Simon Feck bad is not going to be included into something that's coming up, that's big, that's bad. People, they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's about ready to hit them, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you right now, it's about ready to hit them, and it's going to hit them hard, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you that right now. Been working on this for a year, ladies and gentlemen. Been working on it for a year, ladies and gentlemen. And it's coming. And you have to have the access to pull it off. You have to have the imagination, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have the work skills, like the work ethic to continuously do it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There's people out there, the work ethic is there. But after a while, there's a wall that you're going to reach. Just like Giuliani Argentini, right? Giuliani Argentini hit a wall at like 180,000 subs, right? And then somebody else will hit a wall at, say, 420,000. Let MMA Guru, 420,000. Hit a wall, let's say. And then it just stops. Eventually it stops, ladies and gentlemen. And your entertainment value, you just can't get any better. Well, guess what? Fivefold of any fight companion is coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. All right, who do we got here? I really ranted when I had a little bit of sound trouble, ladies and gentlemen. It was all my fault. Who do we got here, ladies and gentlemen? Who's this? Gee, guys. They kicked me out of the mental hospital because they said I was too mental. I mean, I really feel sorry for you. I don't know what to say. I mean, being too mental. I mean, the best thing about that sounds like you could be in the Guinness Book of World Records, and that would be great. Because actually, Simon Feck is in the Guinness Book of World Records 2 times, right? And then I also work with another guy who's in the Guinness Book of World Record. My uncle was in the Guinness Book of World Record, right? But it wasn't for being too mental, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's a good one, huh? What do we got here? Benny gonna work the new Aussie. But that's good and everything. I like that. Way to go, Western. Sure, absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna go with that. I'll go with that. But right now, I'm just out spreading the message, ladies and gentlemen. And the message is MMA Access. Right now, sitting at 0 subs. I need 50 subs. Of course, I can go around it with the StreamYard like what everybody else does too. That's it. That's it. Man, why? Why did I switch to the other camera and then my best rant? I don't know if I could do it again. Oh, man. It's so. Gilly Deed hit a brick wall at 180K, says MMA consultant. Yeah, it's like he was at like 174, right? And then it went to like 176. Because I think somebody said something, but that's probably nothing to do with it, right? And I'll tell you something too about everybody saying all that bullshit too. And then he's like at 180 and it hit a wall, right? Okay, you can look it up yourself. The number one thing you can go on there for games and for entertainment and everything like that. The number one thing, and YouTube will tell you that. You can look it up. The number one thing that people go to YouTube for is knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. It's knowledge, right? So if you're doing a fight, check this out, right? This is what I think about Giuliani Argentina, right? So people, the people that are like betting people, they want to go to this person and that person and the other person. So they're searching these people out. Nobody's searching an entertainment stupid MMA channel like I got, right? And plus it's weird when you get here and everything, just like that girl says, mental institution and everything, right? But the number one thing people go on YouTube for is information. Okay? Information, right? So in the MMA world, people mostly go around looking to see who thinks who's going to win what fight and whatever. I don't know, just information. So Giuliani does the predictions videos, okay? And when they probably, this is just me, right? When they probably click on it, you know how it is like with him. In 1 hour, he says 5 things, right? It's all like and yeah, no, but like, they're probably sitting there waiting, right? And they're not getting the picks quick enough, right? So they hit the subscribe button thinking they're going to come back. I think he actually has 180,000 subscribers because I check out and I study things and everything, right? I don't know. I think it's like that. And then other people have stalled at certain times and places too. So that's it. These people that do these prediction videos, they get people because people want to come back and see, and see, check in with everybody. That's why those people get subscribers. And then the people they really try to like bust through and they don't even really watch your stuff. So if they're not watching your stuff, you're not getting the watch hours too. You have to sort of be entertaining. It's not just the information too when it gets down to it. But the number one thing is information. Simon Tech doesn't do any information, ladies and gentlemen. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Drop the link for it. I dropped the link up there, so I dropped the link a few times, son. If you scroll up. But anyways, I'm mad. It's just bad. But I'm telling you right now, Simon Peck's got the biggest and baddest thing coming up. And there's other people involved in it, but I can't tell you who it is, ladies and gentlemen. So drop the link, right? Let's see. There it is, right? And then I don't have the sound turned down. And then how do you do? Where's the? It's so stupid, man. I don't see the there. There's chat, right? Like that. Boom. That should be it right there. Let's see. MMA Axis. I'll tell you guys, whoever's hanging around, I'll tell you something about what's going on right here. MMA Axis, and then paste right here. It's in there right there, right? Okay. I got burned out, ladies and gentlemen, hanging out. Like, I'm in the apex, right? And the fighters are coming through and whatever. Okay, I got burned out. It's the same thing over and over and over again, and the same satisfaction. After a while, it just sucked balls, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same satisfaction. Okay, yeah, I put that video out and it got 67,000 views, and then I got this other one out. You're looking at Simon Feck here, okay? I have done over 100 million views, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Like the clown guy. He wants to make fun of me. I am over 100 million views, okay? But I'm so anhedonic about it right now, okay? The same thing. And there's like a peak. There's a peak to it. Well, there isn't a peak anymore because I figured something out, ladies and gentlemen. And it's about ready to come and hit everybody. Okay? It's about ready to hit everybody and hit everybody hard. Simon Feck has something big coming out. Simon Feck figured something out. I had to take a break. Okay? I took a break for a little over a year and I didn't tell anybody, ladies and gentlemen. I've been working on something. I had to sit back. And go, I mean, what else could I do? I can't keep doing the same thing. All like the media guys, they're taking the video, and then they're all taking the same video. And then that guy asks a question, and then he asks another one, and then another one, and then this guy asks a question, and then another question. Okay? And then that guy asks a question, another question, and then boom, you pack it all up, you put the fighter's name on it, you put it out there on YouTube, you pack it up, you go to the hotel, you fly home, whatever like that. Same thing every week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You go to media day, you go to the weigh-ins, you go the same thing. You take the video, you download it, you do this, whatever, you put it out there on YouTube, right? Then every once in a while there's like a party or whatever. And believe me, I know people out in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. So then it's the same thing. Yeah, it's hot. You're like, you're right there around the octagon. You're right near it all. After a while, you become anhedonic to it, ladies and gentlemen. So I was in a great position, but I said that after a while, something that's great, you can have the hottest chick on the planet, and after a while, it's just a hot chick. I don't know how to. I don't want to get too deep into that, right? So then, I mean, things were going great, right? And most people, and they do. They're just sitting there doing the same thing over and over. They won't make themselves better. They're just content. Well, Simon Feck wasn't content. Okay? So I sat back and then I said, what about this? And what about this? What about this? And then what about this? And then it finally all clicked together, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, my phone, I have a golden phone. Simon Feck has a golden phone, ladies and gentlemen. I made a phone call the other day, and I said, boom. And then I was like, instead of doing International Fight Week, I'm like, why not the White House card start out huge with MMA Access? I'll get to that in a second. Let's start out big with MMA Access, ladies and gentlemen. Might as well start out the White House card. And then I'm like, ugh. Then it's like, I don't know. Changing it up at the last minute. I've been sort of gearing towards something else, which is International Fight Week, right? So we're going to start out International Fight Week. Okay. You got people. Listen. The visions that I have, right? Meaning when I walk around, what I see, you're going to see and experience, well, through the camera, you're going to see and experience everything that I'm experiencing. You're going to experience, you're going to feel like you're there with me. I don't want to give too much of it away, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a few fights till then, and then somebody else might grasp on it. I'm going to be the first one, but it's really we, ladies and gentlemen. It's we. I can't tell you who we is, ladies and gentlemen. But MMA Access, maybe there might be 2 or 3 people subscribed to it right now. Who knows? It was 0. I want the 50 on there. I want it legit. I don't want to be going live when it's not 50. Okay? I need 50 subscribers on there. Now, if you've been mean to Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, people have been mean to him. Well, guess what? If you've been mean to me, you've been mean to me. There's gonna be people that are saying, hey, There's going to be people saying, hey, can I be part of it? Like musical MMA. A little while back, I've been keeping this to myself, and I sort of blurted something out maybe a month or two ago, and I said, hey, I got something big coming up. That was about it. And then musical said, hey, can I be part of it? He didn't ask what it is, but yeah, he can be part of it. There's ways of people to be part of it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There's ways of people to be part of it. But we already got the core too, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at a bird that's going to be the biggest thing in MMA, whatever. And not just me, and not just because of me, but because of my small participation in it, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, my vision, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, also, besides all that stuff, shows yourself. Show yourself. All right, hold on one second. So, what is it? Oh, besides that, doing a meet and greet, right? So I agreed to do a meet and greet, okay? A meet and greet at International Fight Week on Friday at the UFC X. I'm also going to be doing all this other stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm putting together a meeting area for everybody too, ladies and gentlemen. Besides doing all this other stuff. Listen to me. The red carpet. The International Fight Week, the red carpet. I'm going to... MMA Access is going to be the greatest, the best, whatever, the whopper. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows what's coming. This thing's going to hit them, and it's going to hit them hard. They're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed. Everybody's going to be pissed. MMA Guru is going to be pissed. MMA Joey, pissed. They're all going to be pissed. They're all going to be pissed off, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming, Mike. Even like Mike Heck and Jeb miss you, ladies and gentlemen. It was going to be the Heck and the Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Even Dennis Shakuratov. The very first person that I thought I was going to, like, I don't know, maybe join up with. And then I said, you know what? There's this guy. His name is the MMA Experts guy, right? I'm like, he lives probably 25 minutes away from me. I had a little quick thing with him, but I'm like, he doesn't have the personality. The only person that I hit up for this, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna hit them hard, and then if you've been mean to Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be a part of it. There's room to fit and slice and push people right in here, there, this spot, and this spot, ladies and gentlemen. But you got people like the Idahos and the Montanas and the Washingtons, and the Dakotas. And I'm not talking about Native Americans right here now, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just saying there's people like the Idahos and I don't know, the Utahs and all that stuff, right? They want to be mean to Simon Feck. Guess what? Hey, Simon Feck, you got a little bit of room in there for me? No, I don't. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck comes on the scene, and at first, let's say people didn't know who Simon Feck was. Well, Simon Feck is somebody, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And you find out who the meanies are, the meanie pants are, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Well, Simon Thek put a fucking monster together, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you right now. Bam, baby. Yeah. Let's see. What are we doing here? We got lurkers, people listening to Simon Thek. And then that's sick right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's sick right there. That's what WMC, Western Mass Climber, says, ladies and gentlemen. That's sick right there. I think I remember when he wrote that in back then. I don't know. But I forgot what happened. What happened to Casper? What happened to Casper? You're going to ask me what happened to Casper? I'm in the middle of this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jimmy the drunk here, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy the drunk, ladies and gentlemen. What's he say? Where are we at? Big things coming to Feck Island. You got that second right, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I'm going to tell you right now that you know how people think that their life sucks balls, right? Well, there's a guy. His name is Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen. And Jimmy the Drunk is mogging you. Jimmy the Drunk has something to do for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. He's not sitting around saying his life is boring and all this kinds of shit and nothing ever happens. And a guy, and you're probably going to feel depressed and everything, but check this out. There's a guy named Jimmy the Drunk that has something to do for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you that right now, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy the Drunk has something to do for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. And you're sitting around just watching, you're watching a guy in a bird mask on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, but you're right. Jimmy the Drunk, you're exactly right. Simon Thek is coming in. He's coming in hard, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a hard not to go around telling anybody about this. But with the phone call the other day, ladies and gentlemen, we're locked in, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. It might not be smooth at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, okay. Like when the MMA Guru first started out, the MMA Guru had an unfair advantage, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Guru didn't have AI down his throat, ladies and gentlemen. He's going around giving out links and telling people, I'll give you the link if you subscribe to me. That's an unfair advantage. Well, fuck the MMA Guru. Simon Thek has the unfair advantage, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. It's the unfair advantage that Simon Thek has. He always had it. He just didn't have the imagination yet. He had the imagination, but he didn't use the imagination. He was too locked into taking the video, downloading the video, putting the video on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm talking about the interviews of the fighters, ladies and gentlemen. The big dogs, the Sean Stricklands, the Max Holloways, all those videos, ladies and gentlemen. Every Wednesday, I interview at least 3 fighters, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not talking about people in the street like the clown show type of fighter that's going to rip your balls off and bite your ear and whatever. Use a bat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about real UFC fighters. Every Wednesday, I interview 3 fighters, ladies and gentlemen. Not talking about that as an unfair advantage. That by itself is an unfair advantage. I'm going to have an unfair advantage from Wednesday to Saturday, actually Sunday morning, every week, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. They can't get what I have, ladies and gentlemen. And they can't do it the way that I'm going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a promise, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. Were you nice to Simon Thegg? Because everybody's gonna be going, hey, can I get a little piece of it? I'm gonna be like, hey, Western Mass Climber. Let me tell you something. Western Mass Climber was there with Simon Thegg from day one, ladies and gentlemen. Western Mass Climber gets a ticket. Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen, he goes on there and he says that Western Mass Climber can beat up Simon Thegg. He gives like Western like a plus 217 and gives Simon Thegg like a minus 428, ladies and gentlemen. Now is Jimmy the Drunk getting a ticket into the what I got coming on the MMA Access? Jimmy the Drunk goes around telling that girl, because I'm not going to say her name, telling that girl, yeah, I guess we're going to have to feck the fecker, and things like that. But yet, when I go, me and Jimmy hang out, Jimmy's nice to me, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy the Drunk's nice to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just playing with Jimmy. All right. But if you're from like the state of Idaho, because your name's not Idaho anymore, don't come asking Simon Thegg. Because you're going to ask. Simon Thegg, I made it one little funny thing. I said, I don't know what I said. It was a thing that I've been saying with my friends my whole life. It was something like, I don't know, something stupid. Let me just make something up. It's like, you're like, but who are you? And then he got his balls hurt, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to have his balls hurt here real soon. I'm telling you that. And I can make all these claims. You know why? Because I'm Simon Thegg, 1 foot cock, and I know what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I got the unfair advantage. Okay? The MMA Guru's not going to have it. Yeah, he's got the talent, right? And then, let's see, Lucas Tracy doesn't have it. And then this guy doesn't have it. And this guy doesn't have it. Okay? That's all I can tell you, man. Okay. It's the link, Jimmy. Did you announce a new channel? I missed it. That's right. I sure did. I am. Subscribe up here. What do we got? Jimmy the Drunk's very responsible man, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Simon Thegg announced a new channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's at MMA Axis, AXIS, MMA Axis, at MMA Axis, ladies and gentlemen. It's got a red M right now, 0 subscribers. There might be 2 or 3 there now. I don't know. So link, scroll up, exactly. Western's Simon Thegg's, what is it? Mod, ladies and gentlemen. Even though I took them off, I don't know how to put it back on. It's not how the odds work. I don't know how it is, Western, but I looked in there at that time, and Jimmy had you as the winner, the favorite. I don't care. Okay, so that's it. I ranted. I was pissed. Oh, and then I go and I have like the camera off like a big idiot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Thegg subbed. Jimmy the Drunk. All right, thanks a lot, Jimmy. Because I want this. I don't want to go around the 50 subscribers. I want to have at least 50 subscribers. I appreciate it, Jimmy. Jimmy the Drunk. What are you gonna do for your channel profile logo? I don't know. I got a couple things that I did like a month or 2 ago. I haven't put it up yet. If you search it, right? Search what is it? Search MMA. I said the name of it. I don't know how many times. Search MMA Axis in YouTube, right? And then you should see Giuliani's face or whatever like that. And then click that shorts video. It's real short. And at the end, there's this thing that comes up. It's like a logo. I think kind of like that. It's like red and silver, like a mirror. I think that's what I'm working with. Why, Western? You can do something for me? Okay. Jimmy's number 2. Is Western number 1? Spell it out. MMA what? Access? Yeah, that's right. 999. And actually, you want to know something? I think the very first person who subscribed to the Simon Thek channel is right there. Is A Change 999. If not in the top 3 or 4, ladies and gentlemen. And now Simon Thek's up to like 420. But the weirdest thing, right? So I got other channels, right? I got a channel with 75,000 subscribers, right? And that channel, people subscribe to that one, and about every 10 subscribers, I lose like 1 or 2. With Simon Thek, right? It's so weird, right? So I got 420. That means I probably had about 1,500 people sub it. And people say shorts videos are the ones that get them. It's not really, to me, it's not, right? But it seems like every 4 people that subscribe, 3 get rid of it. So I've had a lot of people subscribe, but they get rid of it. But it ain't going to be that way with the MMA Access. So anyways, yeah, 999. It's MMA AXIS. But there's no content on it. So it's not really showing up. You got to do at MMA Access. At MMAAXIS. It's got like a red M. I need the 50. Yeah, I can go around it, but I need the 50 subscribers. It opens up International Fight Week. The Tuesday night, it's going to open up Tuesday night with the Sphere, out on the streets with the Sphere. Wednesday morning, it's going to be at Media Day, and then so on like that. So, and it's going to Power Slam. It's going to the UFC X. It's going to Zuffa Boxing. It's going to UFC 329. It's going to the Hall of Fame. It's going to the red carpet. Like, you could go to the Hall of Fame. It's a $7 ticket. You can't get to the red carpet, ladies and gentlemen. You could get to the red carpet with MMA Access, ladies and gentlemen. You get my point? So we got Fridays, huh? Yeah, I'm going to go with Western on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go with that one. All right, that's it. Hey, who is that? Bean, ladies and gentlemen. Bean, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so listen, I ranted, right? I ranted. And I just want to tell people, like Mike Heck and Jed Meshew, right? You know? So I'm sorry to you guys. I'm just telling you that right now. You too, Dennis Shakiratov. A little bit sorry there. And Bedtime MMA and MMA Guru. Both of you guys getting a hold of Simon Thek. But the only ones trying to destroy. Listen to this, right? Bryce Mitchell, Mr. Church Guy. Let's be nice, be nice to thy neighbor or whatever like that, right? I'm not making fun of religion here. But the only 2 troubles, like the MMA Guru is a fair, like, what is he? A good sportsman. The MMA Guru is a good sportsman. Bedtime MMA keeps trying to defend the MMA guru to me. He keeps coming to me secretly around the backside, trying to defend or tell me I'm being mean to the MMA guru. I'm being mean to the MMA guru? What does the MMA guru do? So I got this bedtime MMA guy coming to me saying that he knows who I am. Like that's a threat, okay? The bedtime MMA says he knows, and the MMA guru never does this. Maybe the MMA guru is sending him. I don't know. But the bedtime MMA says we, plural, we, and he's talking about the MMA guru, right? We know exactly who you are. And then he cleared it up again, and he said, "We know exactly who you are, man." I was like, okay, whatever. I really care, right? But the only two is it's probably came in on AI, right? So 2 on Bryce Mitchell, and then 1 just recently here with Laura Sanko. Now, Dean Thomas is a good friend of mine. They do a show together, right? But it's okay. I was like, yeah, it's okay. I don't know if AI got me those 3 times. I don't know what it is. It probably was AI those 3 times, right? So Laura Sanko has been retired. I got Laura Sanka, okay? And then Bryce Mitchell, I pretty much don't talk about Bryce Mitchell anymore because I don't know if it's him or AI, okay? So those 2 people are basically out, you know. But the MMA Guru is a good sport. And then his little buddy, again, I know I keep saying it, his little buddy. Listen here, bedtime MMA, you little pussy. I seen your fight, okay? I've been hanging around fighters for decades. And you don't think that I just like Nina Drama goes in there and gets trained a little bit? You don't think that happens? I mean, you know, hey, this guy's wearing a bird costume. Yeah, but he looks little. And then one other person go, yeah, you look like a big dude. Or you can't tell how big I am. Oh, and then he's old too. Simon Feck's old too, you know. Try to fuck with this old bird, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Can you see it? Where is it? Yeah, like that. Yeah. Listen to this. That's the fucking goddamn gut, bitch. All right. What do we got? We got some people talking in here. What do we got? That was a fantastic rant. Thanks, WMC. I wish the one when I went silent was the one I was like really freaking out and everything like that too. Would you Tony Danza if he pulled up? I mean, isn't Tony Danza probably? He's probably has a walker, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck's gonna fight Tony Danza, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Tony Danza's only like 4 years older than me, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't know how old he is, right? Tony Danza, ladies and gentlemen, the guy with the dancing shoes, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck's gonna fight the dancer Tony Danza, ladies and gentlemen. The dancing Danza guy, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Italian guy, or whatever he is, ladies and gentlemen. Probably uses a walker, ladies and gentlemen. Probably never trained a day in his life, like, you know, in mixed martial arts, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Simon Feck trains UFC, ladies and gentlemen. I don't train all that other bullshit. I don't train one. I don't train, what is it? I don't know. I've been to all these things. I fight one and all this bullshit. I don't train all that shit. I don't train PFL. I train UFC, baby. I train the best. Why would you train PFL, ladies and gentlemen? Why would you train one, ladies and gentlemen? I train UFC, and I would whoop Tony Danza. I'm not threatening Tony Danza if he's still alive, ladies and gentlemen, but I would whoop Tony Danza in the clown show, ladies and gentlemen. The clown show's 6'1", I'm 6'1". The clown show says he's about 200 pounds. I'm about 220, ladies and gentlemen. And there ain't a bit of fat on this bitch. Tony Danza. Who said that shit? Somebody named Term or some shit, right? Bedtime, his MMA debut. Yeah, I seen that with that girl. I think your girlfriend there, Western. I seen or heard about it on there. I had to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? Bedtime, his debut. You will feck him up. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck would feck Tony Danza up any day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I would feck him up on Monday, on Wednesday, on twice on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Danza's an old man, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a black crow, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, how old does a black crow live, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not old, ladies and gentlemen. Tiny Dancer. Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Who we got here? That's a big name right there, ladies. Texman, Texan, the begging clips, ladies and gentlemen. What does he say? Is this the George Floyd stream? Ladies and gentlemen. There you go, right there, ladies and gentlemen. It come flashing across the screen. I mean, good things in life come when you least expect them, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Listen to this right now. It just came across the screen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here promoting the new channel, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take over MMA. The new channel eventually is going to be bigger, but not bigger than the UFC channel. It's going to be bigger than any other channel that's MMA except for the UFC channel. I guarantee it. There's no way around it, ladies and gentlemen. But good things in life come. Let me tell you this. When you're out announcing your new channel, ladies and gentlemen, and there's a guy out there promoting your channel named Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen, goes around and he's spreading the word in certain people's Discord, ladies and gentlemen. It just came across the screen. You know you've made it in life, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a guy out there promoting your channel with the name Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen. You know your channel's going places, ladies. That's it, a light on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, listen, you don't have a guy out there named Jimmy the Drunk promoting your channel, do you? I got a guy that's busy for 5 months. A Jimmy the Drunk who is busy for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. The only people I know busy for 5 months are either on a boat sailing around the world, they're in prison, or they're on a movie set or something. Who's busy for 5 months and can't go to International Fight Week, ladies and gentlemen? I think Simon Feck is actually Kevin Ioli. Western, you know what? Listen to this. Western, this guy here, WMC, his name is Western Mass Climber, ladies and gentlemen. He goes by the name Western, ladies and gentlemen. Western gets on my Instagram or something like that, right? And he's telling me on my Instagram, this was a little while back, that he thinks I'm Kevin Ioli, ladies and gentlemen. I tell him that I know Kevin Ioli, ladies and gentlemen. I know that dude. Kevin Ioli walks in the Apex or whatever, in the media area, and Kevin Ioli thinks he's God, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? If John Morgan walks in there, and let's say they walk in at the same time, John Morgan never acts like he's God. John Morgan is equal or way higher than Kevin Ioli, ladies and gentlemen. But Kevin Ioli, when he walks in, he expects everybody to, like, I don't know, would you take my seat, Kevin? Listen, I'm not Kevin Ioli, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to be bigger than Kevin Ioli coming up real soon, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, Simon Feck and Moss from the MMA Holes and the Gummy Gang. We're doing a meet and greet July 10th at UFC X, ladies and gentlemen. It's like $25 or something like that. What? I'll be sure to link the new channel to Bodak private group chat. I appreciate that, Western Mass Climber. I appreciate it very much. I thank you very much. I just simply want to get the 50. I want to get the 50 subscribers so I don't have to do all that bullshit. I want it to be legal right at the beginning. Even though, I mean, nothing would happen, right? You just told me don't reveal myself and everything like that. And then you're saying prove it. Prove that I'm not Kevin Iole. I don't know how to do that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. I don't know how to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Which one we getting rid of? I think that we're getting rid of the right one. There. I still have sound, I hope, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one with sound, I think. And that was bad. I link it after the stream. I'll link it after the stream. Thanks. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much done, I think. What do we got? We got the UFC coming up here in about 4 hours and 45 minutes or something like that, right? Man. I'm so mad that I still hear you. Good. Thanks, Western. Good. All right, so that's about it. Oh, that I just did a Michael Jackson one, right? And sort of the Side Effect channel. The Side Effect channel. I have fun with the shorts videos. I'm not really talking about AI, but I have fun with those too. But when I do a long stream, like a long what is it, long form video or a live stream, a lot of times I pre-write stuff out, right? To make a short video, a few shorts. I like to get like 3 or 4 shorts out of them. Well, the Michael Jackson one, even though you're allowed to do it long form or live, they don't let you, because it's copyrighted, they don't let you break it down into a short. So then I was scraping it and I got one passed, but then I tried 2 other ones and it wouldn't get passed. So I kind of gave up on that. So anyways, I got enough on this video to do, even though, the sound went. I got plenty to pick from to do 3 or 4 shorts from this one. So I'm going to be heading out, Western. And then eventually I'll see if I can put you back on here. No, it just says ban or whatever. How's it go? Where is it? Well, I'm not in YouTube. I'm in StreamYard right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Effect's new channel, MMA Access. That's at MMAAXIS. I need 50 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, for International Fight Week, ladies and gentlemen. I almost put in for the White House, and I said, why rush it? I want to make sure I got to start out right, ladies and gentlemen. Been gearing towards the International Fight Week. I should have made the phone call a couple weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. I started at the White House, but hey, we got Mystic in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Western putting up some peace sign stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mystic. Do you believe in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen. I mean, yes, I do. That's it. I don't want to elaborate on it. Yeah, I grew up right, and I went to church every Sunday, and then I went to a Catholic school on Sundays, and I'm part of the Catholic Church, ladies and gentlemen. And then everybody's going to go, oh my God, he said he's Catholic, and then there's going to be all kinds of problems. But maybe I just made that up. But yes, I do. And amen. I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out, ladies and gentlemen. Amen, brother. Will subscribe. Thank you. Yep, MMA Axis. And it's easy to reach if the link is in here. I got to put Western back on as my mod. We had some fun there. Anyways, at MMA Axis, at MMA8XIS, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you this, too. Let me tell you this. Here we go. Come in tight, everybody, and listen to this. Simon Thek. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm putting this out there. This is a promise. You know how people promise and, they're going to do this in their life and everything? Well, I already know the advantages that I have. So it's real. It's really, it's going to be hard to fail, ladies and gentlemen. Just like the MMA guru had an unfair advantage at the beginning because AI couldn't catch him slinging links. And he said, I'll give you the link if you subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel first, and then I'll give you the link. That's what he was doing, ladies and gentlemen. For the first 600 or 1,000 or 500 or whatever it was. And so he got away with it. Who cares, right? He had an unfair advantage to what's going on today. Simon Thek has an unfair advantage because I've been hanging around famous people my whole freaking life, ladies and gentlemen. I went around the world on rock and roll tour buses of famous people, ladies and gentlemen. I hang out with all the fighters, ladies and gentlemen. I hang out with basically everybody in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. WMC says, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so my point is this. Come in close, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Thek. I'm going to say this to MMA Guru. Listen, MMA Guru. Simon Thek. Not like your unfair advantage that you have, but Simon Thek has the unfair advantage, and you are going to be jealous.